Imagine you are back in 1971, when the great people of Italy debuted the craziest car to exist at that time. And that car was none other than the Lamborghini Countach. This car was like nothing else at the time. It was so impractical that you couldn't even fit a few days worth of groceries in it, or even a set of golf clubs. Yet its styling was so extreme people couldn't get their eyes off of it. This was also the first production car to feature scissor doors, which coined the term Lambo doors. The Countach was so popular that every kid and their mothers had a poster of this car in their house, and due to this success, the car was in production from 1974 all the way to 1990, with the earlier models making around 370 horsepower and the most powerful being the 25th anniversary, making around 450 horsepower. While the car's speed and horsepower are something to laugh at compared to modern day supercars, the car's looks were so popular that this design language is what made Lamborghini known as Lamborghini, and was translated into every car they made since then. With the inception of their Halo car, Lamborghini knew what the people wanted, impractical angular machines purpose-built for speed and a good driving experience that looked more like spaceships than actual cars. This idea that they had led them to create some of their best fuel-off cars, like the Reventon, the Sesto Elemento, the Veneno, the Centenario, and their most recent one, the Scion. No, not that Scion, this Scion. So enough with the history lessons. This right here is what Lamborghini unveiled to the world in August during the Monterey Car Week. And by no means is this car ugly, but it was a disappointment to see what they called a refresh to this car for its 50th anniversary. They kept the styling cues of the flat nose and headlight design as well as the side vents, which are iconic to the Countach, but they used the almost 12-year-old Aventador platform for the interior with the updated touchscreen from the Huracan Evo, and just slapped on the Countach badging. And for reasons which I can't be bothered to research, they didn't keep the up and down scissor doors and instead used the butterfly door design. And not to mention the wheels that they decided to put on this car, which just look like modified versions of the stock Huracan wheels. And all of this is okay. It's not like we haven't seen them use the same interior for different cars, and the scissor doors were discontinued after the Murcielago, but where my real frustration comes from is the rear end. Doesn't this look familiar to you? If you haven't gotten it yet, I'll give you a little hint. Yep, they really did just grab the rear end of the Scion, modified it a little bit, and put it on the Countach. What's worse is this car's Msrp is 2.6 million, and that's for the base model. I can imagine once you start fitting options, you will be nearing the $3 million mark, for a fusion of a Countach Aventador Scion. They should have just called it the Countion or the Countadorian. What seems to be this car's only redeeming quality is that it has about 800 horsepower, 770 coming from the motor, and a whopping 30 horsepower coming from the supercapacitor. And boy do they want you to know that you have a supercapacitor in your car. All in all, I don't think this was a horrible car by any means, but I do think it was a lazy attempt to bring back a legend of the 70s and 80s. There was no creativity when making this car, and it really shows when you start to look at the other cars that they have made. Hopefully we'll see a version of the 25th anniversary come out soon, but who knows, maybe we'll have to wait another 25 years. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe, as I plan on making more content around cars in the future. Peace!